slasher spree, where mysteries and terror be and darkness comes for you and me. Join us on a slasher spree. There's no place to hide, and soon you'll see siblings on a slasher spree.
We're back for another episode of Slasher Siblings. This will be the last episode to air before Halloween, so let's end October with our 3 final hunt reviews.
Woo! Yes, we are packed this week. Quite literally a slasher spree.
How long have you been waiting to say that?
Since we created the jingle and before we even recorded an episode.
That's pretty much what I thought. As a follow-up to last week's episode, I'm sure everyone can remember my extreme disappointment that the remote-controlled skeleton was nowhere to be seen at Haunted Hallows in East Gwillimbury. Okay, so the owner reached out to us after the episode aired and advised that his name is actually Mr. Skinny Bones, and he's his own entity, which honestly makes him even cooler, in my opinion.
I mean, anybody that has their own Instagram, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I'm still not totally sure how that even works, but we obviously are both following him now on Instagram. So you should too. His handle is Mr_Skinny_Bones. And if you're listening, Mr. Bones, please just keep being you.
Yeah, I like bringing that eccentric personality to all the little boils and ghouls. I feel like I should have thrown a GPS tracker on him so I could follow him around the country like a band groupie. 'Cause we all know I love a good bone.
No, don't. I'm not even going to respond to that. Today, we will be discussing Feargrounds' haunted attraction in Uxbridge, the Isabella Street Séance, hosted by Jaymes White in Toronto, and one of our favorite local spots, Martino Manor in Etobicoke.
Woo.
Let's kick off with Feargrounds. Randy, please give our lurking listeners some background on this haunt.
It would be my psychopathic pleasure. Feargrounds is located at 8300 Concession Road 6 in Uxbridge, Ontario. It offers 2 terrifying trails with dozens of terrifying scenes with live actors that will leave you screaming for more. This is an intense experience intended for audiences aged 12 and up. Ticket prices range based on the date you decide to go. Weekends are higher priced, obviously, as well as dates closer to Halloween, so plan ahead.
Yeah, and I also want to mention that a portion of the proceeds from ticket sales for Feargrounds will benefit the Jennifer Ashley Children's Charity, who work closely with children's hospitals across Ontario to cover costs for children that are not covered by hospital funds, OHIP, or private insurance.
Awesome. Yeah. I love to see our spooky passions supporting a good cause. Kristen, what was your experience here and what were the standout attractions for you?
There was something so incredibly unsettling about the corn stalks.
The Stalks!
It's the Stalks.
Yeah, so also a little side note, we have sound bites from all of our haunts that we're going to kind of toss in there like some tasty seasoning.
Ooh, fun.
So a bit of context, this is located in the middle of a cornfield, hence the stalks. So what made the corn stalks so great, as well as obviously the people that they had in the corn stalks, so the people they had in the corn stalks, they didn't like jump out and scare you. They would just run really, really fast in and out in front of you, behind you, and just kind of disappear into the darkness. It was very dark. So simple, but really, really effective. It was also a really windy night. So just the overall like vibe of the rustling, and it was all just very, very neat. I know that there are always corn mazes. Like everywhere you go, there are corn mazes for Halloween, right? But there was something about this one that just hit different, and the haunt was based inside of it all, so it wasn't this separate. It was good. It was really good.
Yes. Oh my God. The fast running, terrifying. The distant rustling, terrifying. The low light walk around, terrifying.
yeah, like the moonlight, like it was just such a vibe.
So good.
And I don't know if it was just the setting or if I was in a weird mood, but I made Leo hold my hand the entire time.
I don't want to hold your hand. I don't want to hold your hand.
So rude. But in his defense, he was very confused by me being, I don't even want to say scared, maybe unsettled. He didn't know how to deal with that because it's just not something that happens when we go to haunts.
Well, and I don't know if it's just me, but like I don't want anyone to hold my hand ever, period. It's just it's usually clammy and I'm not here for it.
I mean, I guess, but one of the specific highlights inside the haunt was there was this witch meets alien prop. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
This weird monster like flew out of this witch's stomach right at you. It was so cool.
Mm.
I'm normally okay at describing things. Like remember the poutine? I was very detailed with the poutine.
You were.
But I don't feel like I'm articulating this one very well. But either way, I loved it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I had just walked past it when it had done its thing,
Mhm.
but let's hear how it goes.
Some bedpans. Ooh, yeah, that's scary. Something's coming out of her.
I love that. Do it again. The moment I don't think she liked like when we weren't scared and I asked her to do it again. She didn't seem happy about that. I don't
No,
think she,
honestly, they don't really seem too happy when we try to have conversations with them at all. Like they're regular people because their whole motivation is to terrify us. And
I
when we're
know.
like, "Hey, Bob, can we take a picture?" Or like, "Oh,
Do
that's
it
cute.
again.
Do it again." "Ooh, where'd you get that? I want to buy it." But they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
these people."
they don't appreciate it, you know?
They don't.
But what stood out to you, Randy, at Feargrounds?
Well, okay, so I was, if I'm being honest, a little
Mhm,
worried when I walked into the first tent because the quality was a little uninspired for me, like
mhm,
in that first tent. But then I
mhm,
started making my way through the different areas, and the simplicity and minimalistic approach to the experience ended up working for me.
mhm. Yeah.
As you said too, the corn stalks were
The stocks,
obviously
the
the
stocks.
stocks were the star of the show. I loved the ambience they created. Also love how they low key sheltered the wind because it was as cold as a witch's tit last night.
Mhm.
Um, the strategic use of lighting through the stock walk. I really enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed that swamp effect they did with the lasers and the smoke machine.
Yes. So again, something kind of I'm not going to be able to explain very well, but we're going to try something similar. I have been on Amazon and YouTube, so we are going to try to recreate the swamp laser smoky thing. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
post that if we're even remotely successful in it.
Perfect.
But so Randy, tell everyone what scared you the most.
So what scared me the most at uh at the stocks
The
was
stocks.
was air. It was air that scared the
Yeah.
most. um
Yeah.
those gusts. Let's play the
Uh,
clip.
Okay, I like the barrel thing. The barrel's cool. That got me. Goddamn puffs of air.
Yeah, they really are a silent killer. Or is
so
that's
funny.
farts. Never mind.
So moving along. So another really we laughed a lot. I'm
Yes.
realizing we laughed a lot that night, which I don't think that's the main objective at a haunted house, but uh, another really funny like scare moment was the chainsaw at the very end.
Oh my god.
So So you get to the end of the maze, and the maze was long. Like we were in there for quite some time, right?
Yep.
So you get to the end of the maze, and it's kind of this open space with hay bales and such. And the whole time, like pretty much the whole time you're going through the maze and the haunts and all of that, you could hear a chainsaw in the distance, right? So you knew it was coming.
Yeah, and chainsaws are our absolute favorite.
Oh, I love so weird to say out loud. I love
No, this is a
chainsaws.
safe space. It's a safe space for this.
So, I don't know what it is about chainsaws. I think it's because it's like a multiple sensory
Mm,
thing that it
yeah.
covers, right? I mean, obviously you can hear a chainsaw. It's a very distinct noise.
hmm
Most definitely you can see it. You can't touch it because like, ooh, ouch, right? But you can also smell it, like that smell of gas and the sound and those things together. Subscribe. But moving moving along. Okay. So anyways, so we get to the clearing where we see the guy with the chainsaw and we get all giddy and Leo yells, "Let her rip." This guy just totally shits the bed. And okay, here, Randy, play the play
All right.
the chainsaw.
Oh, it's a chainsaw! Yay! Yes! Fire it up!
Okay, so apologies. Leo said, "Fire her up." And it was
Wow.
womp womp. He didn't, and like, okay, maybe he ran out of gas, or
Yeah.
I don't know, but he didn't like try and rev the chainsaw or chase us in any way to like make up for it. It was just such a sad ending. I mean, like I said, I assume something malfunctioned, but whoever was in that role, bruh, you didn't even try to improvise, but again, we laughed. It was funny.
I was going to say, or maybe it's because when we saw him, we said, "Ooh, a chainsaw." And he knew he had no chance of scaring us and was just completely done, checked out.
Yeah, we did say that, didn't we?
Oh, wait, here's another clip.
Okay.
So scary.
I like him.
Oh, a chainsaw.
I feel like he was probably more scared of us.
Maybe.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, but I was definitely happier when I walked out than when I walked in, and that speaks to me.
Mhm.
Oh, and if you dine at the Slabtown Cider restaurant down the road, they'll give you a free RIP line bypass. So if you have the chance, definitely go check it out. But let's move on now to the Isabella Street Séance.
Yeah. I have a lot of feelings about this, and there are definitely some pros and cons to the experience. But Randy, why don't you just take us through some history of the location that we had the seance at?
Perfect. Yeah. So the Foy Smith House, located at 94 Isabella Street, was designed by Edmund Burke of the prominent architecture firm Langley and Burke. The house was constructed in 1885 for Helen E. McMaster of McMaster University, I assume.
I mean, maybe we should have googled that, but I'm gonna assume,
Let's
and
go
I
with
think
it.
that's fair. Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
me I'm wrong, trolls.
I wish we had trolls.
Soon. The Queen Anne revival style residence later served as a private hospital, a rooming house, and a home for Jesuit priests, allegedly.
Jesuit.
Jesuit.
What does that mean? So like a
I was not prepared to answer that question, and I do not know.
Okay.
I'm going to assume it's a form of priest, maybe of the either Jewish or Jesus variety.
Okay. Okay. Under the house and the surrounding area, there was a body of water called the Moss Park Creek. When local residents died, this part not so cute. When
Oh.
local residents died from smallpox or polio, They used to take the bodies in boats down the river, which would have followed underneath the house and to the cemetery. Some of these tunnels are now the TTC. So that's kind of
Cool.
a fun fact. It became a heritage site on January 16, 1978, but it is unfortunately slated to be demolished like early next year, January 2024, to make way for a 69-story condo building, which is such a shame
Boo.
because, like, God, that house was stunning.
But also LOL 69. Anyway, H.H. Holmes was a visitor to this specific area. And for those of you that don't know, he's considered the first American serial killer. He entered Canada, allegedly, I don't know, on October 25th, 1894, and tricked 2 children to go into a wooden trunk. He sealed it and filled the trunk with a poisonous vapor, killing them both. Mean.
Ugh.
Nude bodies of the children were later discovered in a cellar of his rental home at 16 St. Vincent Street, which is about a 10-minute walk from the property of the house that we were at.
Ick. Just like.
Total
Um,
ick.
John Wayne Gacy is also rumored to be active in this area during his reign of terror. While there are no confirmed victims, the Toronto police have had an open case file on it, and I guess it remains that way. But enough about all of
Crazy.
that. Let's jump right in and talk about our experience with the tour. The experience is hosted by Jaymes White, who is a mentalist, mind reader, and seance specialist. This is his this is his 8th year of sold out tours and boasts over 8,000 survivors. Woo.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid here and say, well, I can see why the general public enjoys this so much. It was a little lacking for me. Jaymes was a great host.
Mhm.
And as you said, the house itself is stunning.
Yeah.
But there were a few things that I feel compelled to point out.
Okay.
Firstly, despite our ticket saying that any guests that show up late would not be permitted, okay, so we rush through traffic to make it there with a few minutes to spare, and then we still end up waiting 15 minutes past the cutoff time for another couple who, when they finally arrived, had no concept of the inconvenience that they put on everyone else, and it annoyed me, honestly.
we were we were very irritated, and it's rude to be late, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes life happens. I think my highlight was that the gentleman dropped the female off
Oh my God.
and then like was like, okay, I'll be right back, I'm going to park. And it was just taking forever, and like there was
They were already
parking.
so late
I know they were
before
already
that.
so
And it's
late,
like,
and
where's your partner? And she's like, oh, we had to go park the car. And we're
yeah,
like, really?
yeah. So so then
Ugh.
so then the like our guide said to the woman, she's like, "Okay, like we really need to go. Can you call him and tell him to meet us at the house or like get an ETA?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't have his number."
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And we're like, "What? Mm, Even if it's a first date, like you don't have this person's phone number?" Anyways, entirely unrelated, but it was just a
So weird.
weird it was a weird thing.
Speaking of
Um
weird.
Yeah, so I have to follow that up with we're moving past the late couple. We're in the house. We're like ready for seance business. And the group was asked if Haley, our tour guide, should join our seance experience. We had literally known her for 5 minutes, and it just felt really cringy to ask strangers if they liked her or not.
Yeah.
I would
If you
maybe
like her, she can stay. Like, what?
and it was just silence, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, well, I don't really have an opinion on her. I don't know who Haley is. She seems nice enough. She walked us over here, right?
It was a little cringe, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe skip that next time. Let Haley decide for herself.
Hmm.
Everyone in our party, like I said, was entirely impartial to it. The other thing that gave me a bit of an eye roll was being told that access to the basement was not expected, but when we heard a sound and went down to the basement, they had set up dozens of battery operated candles in trying to make things seem or sound scarier. I don't know, I just felt like it had the opposite effect on me, and then my trust was a little shaken. So I don't know what was organic or what was set up, or it was just, yeah, it was just a little bit of an ick.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way too after we had gone down into the basement and the
Oh, the
candles
biggest
were
ick.
there.
Mhm, mhm.
And there was the you could go left towards all of the lit candles, or you could
Mhm.
go right into the black darkness
The
of
darkness.
the boiler room. So naturally I was like, bye, I'm
Yeah.
going to the boiler room.
Mhm.
So I'm walking around in there and there's literally not a single item in there except one
Mm.
that
And
I'm
what was the item, Randy?
so I walked over with my cell phone flashlight, just waiting for some ghosty ghost to jump out.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
I
mhm.
find in a very old crate a doll. A doll that naturally I was like, "Aw, this is a
Precious, yeah.
yeah, it's super cute." So I ran out, got you, brought you back.
Mhm,
We take
mhm.
a picture, we go out. James is finishing telling the rest of the group who were in the candlelight. The basement was like a body dump
Morgue?
for
What?
the hospital or
Body
something.
du It's called a morgue.
Okay. Maybe that was slightly insensitive, but
Jesus.
everyone would have known exactly what I meant.
Body dump. I mean, anyways.
So anyway, yeah. So I asked James after he's done his little spiel, and I'm like, "Oh, like, what's the deal with the doll in there?" And he's like, "You didn't touch it, did you?" And I was like, "Well, naturally I did." And then from
Yeah.
that point forward, I was cursed. And then
Mhm,
the poor
mhm.
grandmother that I was holding hands with in the seance didn't want to hold hands with me anymore. But anyway, the whole point of that was that I was cursed, and he decides to bring it back up to our next try at a seance because the first time we did it, nothing happened.
Mhm.
So this is our second attempt now, and he wants us to bring the doll. Anyway, the whole thing later, watching the reels and reading reviews from previous nights, and all of them showcase the doll. So it was like
Yeah.
intentionally put there so that someone could find it and it
Mhm.
become part of the experience, which, okay, great, but then maybe don't throw it all over social media. I don't know. I
Mhm.
just like it killed the experience a little bit.
Mhm.
I was also heartbroken when James said that they were going to leave her in the house when it's going to be demolished.
Oh my god, right?
Okay, well, here's the audio clip from that.
And we're actually kind of discussing what to do with the doll after, and we might actually leave it in the house for demolition.
No, don't do that.
It was probably one of the most offensive things I had heard that day.
Oh, yeah, you were not having that. Yeah, and I'm not sure, maybe he just wasn't entirely sure how to handle people that were more genuinely intrigued than they were frightened,
Right.
right? Um, the seance itself had some really notable moments, like
Mm-hmm.
when they when they asked Isabella, who was the doll, to promise not to hurt us, and the bell went off. They had these little like bells placed throughout the house, and they would ask like the spirits to give us a sign if you're there, and the little bell would ring. So yeah, Isabella, we asked if she would promise not to hurt us, and the bell went off. Here's the clip.
Isabella, 2 signs for yes, 1 sign for no. Can you promise us that if we communicate with you, everyone here is safe? You're not going to attach yourself to anyone. Isabella, can you promise that? I see.
Whose laugh is that in the background? That's
I don't.
terrifying.
It is amazing. Yeah, someone needs
Woo!
to contact her, and
Yeah, I
we
need
need
a soundbite of like just that isolated.
we need to bring her into the jingle. Oh my god.
Uh,
Okay, or the guy who asked if Isabella wanted us to summon her.
oh my god, so good. Play that one.
Isabella, do you want us to summon you manifest into this world?
It was like, no,
Oh my god, and then the bell rings. Oh, one of my favorite moments was you asking the head ghost of the house, what would David? What
Yeah, I
was
think
his
it was
name?
David.
Jacob? David? I don't know. You asking the head ghost if you should indeed adopt Isabella.
That's great.
No, I can't see any.
The light has changed completely. Like I can't see that whole left, like where Randy is and stuff. I can't see him at all.
That's really weird.
Right? It is.
Because you can see next to it, almost like adjacent to it, and then it just like.
Like where Randy is, it just went pitch black.
Well, it almost looks like
The
anyone
doll.
else feel like the box is getting bigger.
But it's like right.
Yeah, it's like taking over like your vision, like taking over the table. It's so weird.
Try asking for the doll.
Yeah.
David, do you want me to adopt Isabella?
Oh God.
Isabella, if you're here right now, give us a.
Yeah, that was just chaos. It was the best though. It was so good.
It was fun. And then
Mhm.
our biggest jump scare was when we were saying goodbye to Isabella and that shelf on that small bookcase directly behind us came
Oh my
unhinged
gosh.
and all the
Yes.
stuff on the shelf fell and broke at our ankles.
Yes. There was screaming. Maybe mind your ears for this next clip.
On the count of three, everyone say Isabella, leave this room. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Isabella, leave this room.
Keep going.
Isabella, leave this room. Isabella, leave this room.
What is that? Isabella, leave this room.
Isabella, leave this room.
Isabella, leave this room. Isabella, leave this room.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I forgot about was that the smoke detector that went off?
Yes, it was.
That beep? That's what that
yeah,
was?
yeah, that was not a issue with our equipment.
No. No. That was my favorite moment for sure. I also got the experience of using a Ouija board that was made by the convicted necrophiliac cannibal killer Nicholas Claux.
Sure.
How would Cloaks?
Claux.
AKA Claux, aka the Vampire of Paris. Nothing happened, unfortunately, but the board itself is being raffled at the end of the year, so naturally we put our names in for that.
Obviously.
Mhm.
Just was gonna like slip him a 20, but can we also play the clip where one of our fellow seances finds out that the killer's blood was on the back of the
Oh
board?
my god, I want this as the sound clip too. Okay, go.
I do believe this is his blood on the back.
Oh!
Like I seriously I think I'm gonna turn that scream into a text alert sound on my phone because it's so good. I wonder if that was the same one from before that had like the
Well, this great. Well, if that's the same person, we need her on here.
oh, the range.
Yeah.
I don't think we could afford her.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so the other bummer I want to mention was we kept being told we'd have more time to explore the house, but it never came.
I know.
And it was always like, oh, don't worry, you'll have time to explore this later. And oh, don't worry, like don't spend too much time here. Like you'll have a
Yep.
chance to do later. So we were already like, okay, we're gonna get our phones out and we're gonna film
Yeah.
some stuff for the socials and
Mhm. Well,
blah blah
because
blah.
I don't think I took my phone out at all. Like I didn't have a single photo on my phone, right? Because I
True,
was
yeah.
like, oh, like we're, once all of this is done, we'll be able to like take a walk through the house and we can, like you said, we can get some footage then. But
Yeah, but no, I mean, instead, everyone was so flustered and hot that he was like, oh, "Okay, let's go cool off outside," and we brought everyone outside, and then it was like, "Okay, thanks for coming." We were like, "What?"
I know.
Now I'm assuming because we accommodated those latecomers, we didn't have enough time to explore as maybe other groups would have, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we didn't even get the chance to take any of the video footage that we wanted. So sorry to all of our fans out there, but you won't see much when it comes to the house. And because it's being demolished, what a shame. That was our last chance, you know?
I know. But I mean, overall, Jaymes was a very accommodating host, and we
Agreed.
both really enjoyed aspects of the experience. We were told by Jaymes that the video footage of the seance will be available for us to view in a couple of months once all of the once all of the seances are done. So we will definitely be waiting for that, and we'll absolutely upload to our socials, because us saying goodbye to Isabella in that room and just chaos
Oh, it's going to be
ensuing,
so good. Yeah.
I'm very excited to see that footage. So hopefully we get that soon and can share.
Oh, so then our fans don't have to worry. We will be bringing them some footage at some point. So don't come for us, fans. You'll get some footage.
Like singular is more appropriate. Like fan. Hi,
Thanks,
mom.
Mom. Anyway, yes. Thank you again to Jaymes White and his associate Haley for guiding us through the experience. And I would definitely check out similar experiences in the future. P.S. Jaymes, I really wasn't joking about adopting Isabella the doll, so please slide into my DMs so we can work that out. I promise she'll be given a loving home and we'll have lots of spooky doll siblings to play with. I haven't quite run that by my partner Adam yet, but he's used to all this by now.
Oh my god, he's gonna die. He will not be okay with that if he sees or hears any of this.
I was going to say, God forbid the first time he hears a bell ring in this house, we're going to move.
You're gonna have to pack up and oh dear. Well, the time has come now to discuss our final review of the week, which is drum roll. Our final review is Martino Manor. The manor is located at 7. Ooh, you're making me say words I don't know how to say.
Macintosh?
7. Oh,
Like the apple?
that's not how that is spelt.
Well, it's spelled
Okay,
with an A. It's
see,
Macintosh. This is just,
but it's
I would say Macintosh.
I think you're wrong, but it's located.
Macintosh? It's not Macintosh.
I don't know.
Maybe it is. I don't know. What a
Google where Martino Manor is located. That's what you need to do. It's in Etobicoke.
Yes.
It has
There's
been
only one.
It has been operating since 2017. It has quickly become one of the highest reviewed haunts in the city, which is really not surprising.
No. We've been there a few years now, and it really does blow you away with the attention to detail and the passion you can feel from the
Mhm.
owner. Like, you can tell he loves it, and it shows.
Yeah.
But it would be a crime to mention the haunt and not mention the delicious Italian restaurant that preceded it, Mama Martino's. We always... You're going to say, Mama, Mama! I don't know why. We always eat there before the haunt, and the veal parm sandwich is to die for. Unfortunately for us, we forgot that the restaurant is closed on Sundays, so we missed out this year. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
But Kristen, what stood out for you this time around?
Ugh. So I don't want to be negative right off the bat,
Okay.
but I'm gonna. And I still feel spicy about it.
Mhm.
So we had people both in front of us and behind us in the haunt, and I hate that so much.
So
It
much.
ruins everything. Like it ruins the entire experience. Having people in front of you, you miss those jump scares,
Mhm.
right? Because they've either already happened, so you saw them, or they're in the process of a reset. Because any of the like hydraulic ones or the like animatronic ones, there is like that reset period, right?
Mhm.
Having people behind you, you just feel like you can't enjoy anything. And
Mhm.
especially it's just because of the detail is just it's stunning, and you want to appreciate it.
Mhm.
And to have people behind you as well, and not to mention the people behind us were like 5 teenage boys that were just loud and swearing, and it was just irritating.
Boo. Boo, teenagers. So while the line was as long as it typically is, they were permitting people into the haunt, as you said, way more quickly than I think previous years, and it ruined it for me too.
Yeah.
which is a shame. We even at one point, we let a
Oh,
group go ahead of us so we
yes.
could slow down a bit. And there was another group directly
Yeah.
behind them.
Yeah.
So it was super
Yep.
frustrating. And I think we just gave up at one point and just walked through.
Yeah.
But also circling back to the lineup in the front, I do really appreciate that it's completely covered overhead and
Ooh.
on the sides. So it
Mhm.
blocks any rain or cold wind from you, like while you're waiting, which again, I appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah. That is, it's a comfortable waiting atmosphere because they had the bathrooms open as well at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a bonus. Um, and I mean, the woman letting people into the haunt, she did space people out. Like it's not like she was just throwing people in there haphazardly, right? We
Mm-hmm.
waited what I thought was a fair amount of time from the group in front of us, right? But I think it's because of the setup of the haunt. There's
Mm-hmm.
so much going on, and there's stairs, and everything is like it's uneven at points. There's those dark rooms that you have to kind of feel your way through.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, and again, you want to look at everything because everything, like the detail is, it's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a suggestion. Not that anyone wants it.
Give her.
I'm gonna I'm gonna give it. You almost need like a guide of sorts. So
Mm-hmm.
if you remember at one point there was that scary I guess the nun character
Oh, yep,
that,
yep.
yeah, she met us in a hallway sort of thing, and then she like kind of spookily, ushered us to like a new spot in the haunt.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be super handy if like each group got some sort of, I don't know, scary character or whatever that is involved in the haunt and the jump scares and everything, but you have no choice but to kind of follow that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then that would really space people out. Or even just like checkpoints, right? So there's 4 checkpoints in the house, and if you reach one too quickly,
You have
then
to
there's
wait. Yeah.
some sort of, yeah, there's some sort of interaction, or there's something. I don't know. I'm still spicy about it. The people in front of us were taking pictures of everything, and it was like, yeah, you want to take pictures, but you don't because you're specifically not allowed, and there's people behind you. Oh, and then the annoying kids. It was too much.
Okay, so how old are you today? These damn whippersnappers taking photographs on their cellular devices. Like, you honestly sound like an old man sitting on his porch in a tank top holding a rifle, yelling at children to get off his lawn.
Hey, you kids! Get the F off my lawn!
Oh, shit.
But you're also correct.
Yeah, see, exactly. Whatever. Rant over. Because let me tell you, the haunt is unbelievably well done. Like you said, like this owner lives it, breathes it. I am
Mm-hmm.
blown away with the detail in most of the rooms, if not all of them. They are movie quality
Yep.
sets. Like when you have to question whether a half naked body in a bathtub is real or fake, you've done a very, very killer job. See what I did there? Ching sound. That's gonna edit over there.
Boo.
And I love the add-on. Like there was extra haunt. Because it used to start behind the restaurant there, and this time it was right up at the restaurant.
Yep.
I can't really pick a highlight because it was so good. Ooh, but we haven't talked about this yet. I
Oh.
did, however, love that Mama Slasher decided to join us in her first haunt in, I don't know, probably 20 years. And she loved it. She wanted to go first. So fun. Here, you can enjoy some of her screams.
So wholesome.
Jesus. Perfect. That one worked.
That one.
That one worked. It did its job.
Okay, here's another one.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh, and Adam joined. You could hear Adam in the first clip. That made me laugh. Adam joined us, and Haunted House Adam is like my favorite Adam. I think it's just the sweetest thing that he hates these things, but he goes for you, and I'm gonna say for us.
Mm.
I just think it's just the cutest thing. So we have a couple of sound bites of Adam, and I like that we've labeled this sound clip in our computers Adam's muffled fear.
Okay, here we go.
I feel so bad because all I'm doing is laughing at him in all of these.
No, we're not laughing at him. We're laughing with him and his adorable haunted house demeanor.
Sure. Yes. Oh, I think we have
Here's
another.
here's another one.
Oh no!
He's the best.
Oh, I love him. Okay, so Randy, what tickled your fancy at Martino Manor?
Honestly, I think you covered it. Really, I
Mm.
tried to remember something that stood out for me specifically, and I can't. I can't think of a single thing. By no means does that imply that the haunt itself wasn't fantastic, because
Mhm.
it was,
Mhm.
and it is
Every
every
year.
year.
Mhm.
This time around, I think it was just a combination of like the people in front of us and behind us, like you said. I was trying to record our experience for sound bites because I'm that person now. And feeling rushed, so I didn't really get to take everything
Mhm.
in and absorb the scenes and really look at the props. Like I wanted to be confused over whether the body
Mm.
was real, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like I had the time.
Aw.
But that said, I'm already excited to go back next year, just not on a Sunday because I want my Italian sandwich next time. No exceptions.
Yes. Yes. I wholeheartedly agree. And I'm already excited for next year. Okay, so let's talk about next week. For next week, we have another few haunts to review for you guys. Randy, why don't you tell them where we're going?
I would love to. We will be visiting the Haunting of Hexwood in Pickering, Haunt Manor in Niagara Falls, and we'll also be hitting up the horror convention Frightmare in the Falls, which is also, if you could guess, in Niagara Falls.
What?
Oh, right? Now, at this convention, not only will I be getting a photo with teen heartthrob Devon Sawa.
Oh,
I should.
I loved him so much.
So good. Can't wait.
Mhm,
Kristen
mhm.
and I will also be taking our Michael Myers masks to have them signed by Halloween OG Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers. Will be signing our masks this week. So I am in. I was gonna say heaven.
Okay, and most importantly, definitely most importantly, it's
Mm.
Halloween next week. Ooh. Bow, 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 bow. This is an obnoxious ending. So after our haunts, we will be very busy setting up Castle Grayskull for Halloween. And for all of the little trick-or-treaters, we're actually going to, I say we, Leo's going to bring in a stage to set up in the driveway this year. We're going to turn it into a little haunted house. I think our theme is circus, butcher, cannibals. So it's a little bit of a freestyle theme, but that's what we're going with.
I'm so excited, and you guys must be excited because I will be living with you for that few days.
Yeah.
I will be staying what is it, like 4 nights? Jeez. Yes, I'll be staying 4 whole nights in preparation for Halloween, the biggest event at Castle Grayskull annually.
Mm. Bow, bow, bow.
So it will be gay old times to be had by all, and yada yada.
All right. As the coffin closes on our 4th episode, I'm going to once again, give Randy the opportunity to shamelessly promote the contest he's trying to win that in the end will benefit us both. So take it away, Randy.
Okay, so if you haven't already heard me tell you this a million times by now, at the beginning of September, I was selected to compete in a competition for a shot to be crowned the face of horror, win $13,000 in cash, a photo shoot with Kane Hodder at the Woodbury House, and a feature in Rue Morgue magazine. Today, that this airs, is the last day of the quarterfinals, and I need all of your help to get me to that finish line.
Eek!
Voting for this round closes tonight, October 26th at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're listening to this and you haven't voted yet, which is probably unlikely, get your last minute free vote in and help me to the semifinals. Links are in my /our bio, so jump over there and show your support.
Amazing. So this has been Kristen
And Randy.
slashing our way into your hearts
And nightmares.
Happy haunting.
Bye, witches.